What's up? 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 It's your main man, Ava the Hero, back again with another video, and we're live. Damn, game just ended. Um, Hornets, Suns. God, what a game, man! What a game! What a game! What a game! What a game! What we'll do is, man, we'll let some folks join in, you know what I'm saying, as this is going here. I wanted to go live right there at the end, but I want to hear it, right? And if I'm playing the game on the live stream audio, bam, they come in and shut this thing down. So we couldn't do that right there. So we had to like really just wait, and that's why I'm trying to go live after the game, but we'll let the folks come in who going to join the stream, and then we'll talk about that because man, what a good game. What a good game, man. Let's shout out to some folks who are in here already. Gamer Game, what's up, man? How you doing? How you doing? You've been in here for a minute waiting on the stream. Al Umar, yeah. Josh Simmons, what's up, man? 2 cents, let's go. Recess TV, what's up? Wow, what a good game, man. Let's just start here. That the last like couple minutes there, I understand it's such a hard decision to make, right? Who's taking that last shot? And my dog Devonte Graham, who I think is playing a lot better, right? And I think that one of the issues that I had early on with the season and the way things were going is that they really put Devonte Graham early in the season in a bad position, right? Because they put it where you had a dog behind his back. They had Melo on his heels, and I think that was throwing him off. Then they brought him off the bench, and it was like Melo starting you, so now just relax. Now Melo hurt, and it's like you ain't got to worry about nothing, just hoop. And he's hooping. I think that, yeah, the IQ down there at the end of the game was not, you know what I mean, wasn't there. But I feel like, to me, once it came down to that last possession, I was sitting here saying, get the ball to Terry. Devonte hot right now, for sure. But our closer is Terry Rozier. Get it to Terry. And I think that that's what I was hoping that they were going to do. And it's a pet peeve of mine. And I understand that a lot of these guys do it, right? The Dame Lillards, the Steph Currys and all of that, where you hold the clock out, run the clock out, and then you just take a step back three. Like, run some motions. Come on, man. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just there at the end, we just got that. And in the overtime play, I don't know what was happening with that one. My dog came down, him, crossed old boy, and it's act like he had the lane to go for two to tie it. Decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to shoot a three. Step back, had the three wide open, and then decided, no, actually, I don't want to shoot this. Hop to the side, and then shot. I think that, and I know people be on me hard when I be saying this, and I appreciate y'all hitting the like button, man. We actually had more likes than viewers when we first started this, man. So keep that running for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. I appreciate it. And I know people be on me because I be like, oh, this is why you need Melo. But I do believe that in those games, you need, in those crunch moments like that, clutch moments, you need somebody who is going to give you the best play, right? Jason Murrow, what's up, my guy? Keep doing your thing. Yeah, I appreciate it. You need somebody who's going to give you the best play and know that. So if I hit you with the hoo, and I'm going to the basket, I got confidence in myself I'm going to drive to the basket, and if people crash on me, I'm going to dish it, and we're going to get the two. Or if I'm going to step back, I'm going to just let it roll, and I think that's where we lost it there at the end. But shout out to Devonte Graham because he was playing lights out. It's just that that big moment, it's a big moment to take that game-winning shot, and it would have been lovely for him to hit it. Obviously, you don't hit it, and then the critique comes, but it's a solid game. Man, let me see this. I don't even think I realized this. Somebody just pointed this out. PJ Washington, 44 points, 0 minutes. Now let's do this. Let's get into the game here. I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts and recap. We'll kind of keep it as we always do, and then I'll invite folks in to kind of join the conversation. So start getting y'all talking points ready. If I'm saying something you don't like, have that ready. If you vibing with me, have it ready. I'm gonna let folks in, and we'll do that. Let me pull up the box scores and things here if I can get that going. Ooh. All right, let's do this here. Bam, add it to the stream. Okay. All right, let's do this. Widen that out a little bit. All right, so. And I know that's hard to see, but let me make that bigger. We'll just go wide on this here for y'all. Ain't even that much. All right, so we looking at this here. PJ Washington, your boy PJ, 44 minutes, 0 points. How do you do that, right? I think that, all right, let me say this. One of the biggest things that I think that we got to see when you watch this game is you look at the final score. You realize you played 5 extra minutes in overtime and you did not eclipse the 100-point mark, right? And what happens with this is because now the pace that we're playing with is a bit slower, right? And so every basket that we get is a tougher basket. It's possession. And I think that one of the big things that you get from other folks when they on the court with you, my dog Lamelo, is that you get easy buckets. I even heard Borrego talk about this. In that overtime, it made it so hard because there's no easy buckets. In transition, the easiest bucket that they got in transition is when is Devonte catches it off the Hayward steal and then pulls up and pulls a 3. You see them trying to pass the ball, lobs and it's just something is a bit off, man. Hey, shout out to the Ghost, J Speed, man. I appreciate that. Just keep doing what you're doing. I told you I would send something. I appreciate that, man. That's much love. You feel me? That's much love. And hey, bro, like I said, we're gonna have folks come through, man. So stay on and then vibe with me here in a second. So what I'm saying is that we get this thing where you only score 97 points, right? And it's a close game, and that's cool because you really want that the Hornets are a team, as we can see here, is that they thrive in the clutch moments, right? If they got the lead, they're going to keep that lead in those clutch moments. You see them fighting back. They don't have no quit in them. So when it's 97-101, that's a cool game for you. However, if you add some more pace to it, you end up getting some easier buckets, and that's what we didn't see tonight, right? And so when I'm talking about getting the easier buckets, I'm talking about guys like PJ Washington, who played 44 minutes tonight and then ends up with 0 points, right? PJ gonna get his stuff in transition. PJ gonna get IVD press, bro. You're gonna have to jump on here with me in a minute. PJ is one of those guys who gonna get the easy shots, right? When you got to get in transition and everybody working for their stuff, it makes it hard. Now let's look at the rotation here. Let's see. Let me pull up. One of the things that I always like to look at, and you see from here, even Brad Wanamaker played 4 minutes tonight, man. I did not see that one coming. Anyone paid attention to the fact that Whataburger scored 0? Yeah. They put him in there. I don't know. They just put him in there just to say that he was going to get in there. He played 4 minutes and it was a -7, and they got him up out of there. I promise that I don't fully understand why they even picked him up when they did, man. So let's dig in here a little bit deeper. All right, so you got Terry Rozier, who once again is Devonte Graham, 30 points tonight. Terry Rozier with 22 points, and I'm telling you that Devonte Graham, yes, it's very hot towards the end, but to me, if we're gonna close this game out, we go with the hot hand of the closer, right? We've seen Terry Rozier be super clutch and doesn't miss shots and make the right play at times, and even when he dribbled the one. I forgot who was that against. Was it this team? When he dribbled it, I think it was the Warriors. He lost it, got it back, and then still got a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I would have hoped and wished that Terry Rozier was going to get those minutes down or get those shot attempts towards the end. Let's see. We had PJ Washington. We were talking about him. Gordon Hayward, bruh, 15 points. That's cool, Gordon, but we got to get more from you. You need more than one three-pointer from you. Bismack Biyombo, 2 points. Where you got Zeller with 2 points. Somebody on this team need to get in Drummond's ear and be like, yo, we got whatever you need in Charlotte. We got the barbecue. We got, what do you like, bro? We got Instagram. I don't know what Drummond needs, but they need to get him somehow into Charlotte, bro, because we need a big bad. We need a big bad. I will say that this team at this moment is playing good enough basketball that even though I'm like, yo, the level that we could reach with Melo on the court is extremely high, they're still being able to keep up the pace and play like they're playing without him says a lot about this team. But so let me make sure y'all get ready because I'm about to invite folks in here. So a clutch game, man. A game that was close, went down to the wire, man. But I think that in these tight games like this, when you need easy buckets, is where I feel like, and I know I seen that they said that Drummond is going to LA, which makes sense, right? Especially right now with Anthony Davis out and LeBron out, you get an opportunity to go to the Lakers and establish yourself without having to kind of deal with all of those two and all of the like requirements that they have as far as touches and all of that thing. So it makes sense for him to do that. And I'm telling y'all that I believe that if LaMelo was playing, it would help them in the free agent market or in this buyout market a lot, right? Because you got a guy who tons of superstars are hype about. I was just watching Vince Carter was already talking about Melo won the Rookie of the Year already. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the type of respect that he got from folks right now. Let me see. Let me send this invite out here for my people to join, man. I want to hear y'all thoughts and things on this game here. Yeah, and definitely hit the like button, man. 86 folks in here, but we need to get that like button up, man. It's only 40 likes on this one. So let's see. You had a solid night from Devin Booker. There was a stat that they mentioned throughout the game that Devin Booker actually has shot less three-pointers this year than Jay Crowder. And to me, that's crazy. Or made less three-pointers than Jay Crowder. So let's see, man. I'm gonna go through here and we'll pull up and see what some of the folks talking about here in the comments section, and then we'll add some people to the broadcast as they want to jump in here. Let's see. And once again, man, the ghost, man, J Speed OG, I appreciate that, man. That's much love. Had a wide open lane, but shot a three, and it's so crazy because he shot the three. Let's see, a wonderful move. Hit him, hit him with a godlike crossover, stepped into the lane like he was about to drive, and then stepped back, pumped on nobody, and then took a come on, my God. Let's see. Got a bucket say, I don't even know if I got any moderators, man. Let me see if I can set that up. Let's make some mods, man. God of blackness. I'm sorry. A modder. Let me see, man. There you go. Bam. Actions, ye shall receive. All right, let's see. We got a couple folks in here who in here. Let me see. Quality assurance. Let me know when you're ready to join, man. I seen you was in here for a second. You slid out. All right. And then we got Tayfiq Saka. There you go. When they jump in here, let me know. We'll get some folks in here. So hey, it's a loving the quality of the videos, AB. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. We out here trying to take it to the next level. All right, quality insurance music. I think, is that what it is? Let me see. Bum, 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 bum. There he is. All right, what's up, my guy?
What's good, AB?
What's good, man? What's you watched the game today?
Yeah, I'm here doing some homework and I was watching the game, man. I think they're playing really good.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think they playing hell of a good basketball right now, especially without Melo being there. I think that they have kept what he was doing at time. Well, let me say, tonight I feel like they play slow. They didn't even crack 100 tonight, and they were doing the last couple of games when they went on that little 4-game win streak when Melo's playing. They was cracking over 113, 100 whatever points in 4 quarters. You ain't even crack 100 in in an overtime game. So that's a vibe. But so what do you think is missing?
So so what I think is Melo's style was still kind of they were still kind of playing that style, and I think they kind of ran out of juice going into that third.
Mm-hmm.
And then the inside game was killing them. And I think like you were saying, like going with the hot hand, but put the ball in your closest hand, because when Melo be hot, they always seem to go away from that. But now it's like, okay, Devonte hot, go ahead with the hot hand. And that was an ill-advised 3 at the end because they put the tall, lanky guy on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and he hit him with 2 moves and just couldn't get open. Still took it.
No, you mean the Graham one? Oh,
Yeah.
let me see.
Yeah, toward the end.
Yeah. You're right. The very end one, and I think that he did 2 things he had the one where he hit the in and out and should have drove but didn't drive, and then faded, and then he came back down, and then this time he actually drove to the basket
Out the lane.
and out of the lane, and I'm like, bro, you should have did this when we were needed 2 points. Now we need 3, and now you driving in and trying to draw contact. So I mean, he made the free throws. Let me see. We got Teo Feek in here as well, man. Teo Feek, what's up? Oh, there he is. He gone. All right, there he is. Coming. There he is. All right. What's happening, man?
What's good?
I'm good, man. What's up?
What's good, man? Did you watch the game today?
Not really. I just checked the game track, and honestly, I like, if I was gonna give an honest analysis, I would say the team tried, and shout out to Devonte Graham. Like he's a real one. Like, he played good. Like I got to give him his props. Like, but I don't get it. Like, do you guys see a coincidence here where like any guard on the team have a great game? This team choked. Like there was a time, like the game against the Suns, Lamelo carried them and had a 20+ point breakout game, and they won. But whenever Lamelo drops 30, they still lose the game. Like, and we see it today. Like Graham drops 30 and carried the damn team, they still lost. Like, you ever paid attention to that?
Mm-hmm. See, what I think it is, and I feel like I talked about this before. I think the Hornets they're not a team that it's not one guy is not going to get them over the hump. They're not going to beat you when we got one dude who playing bananas. We need our main guys to play great, and then we need a random dude off the bench to go bananas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in games where Malik Monk comes in off the bench and goes bananas because he scored 30 in the last game versus the Heat, and it was a blowout. Like, it's just, that's what we need. Rozier going to give you what it give you. Hayward give you 15, 10, 20. Everybody get their averages, and then we need another guy. So, like, tonight.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Because the thing is, I like all of them, but do you, like, why is it that the guy that was paid the max contract actually choked? Like, when you're paid the max, you have high-level criticism. Like, you choked the damn game. If Hayward dropped more points, they would have won this game.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally, I was trying to watch the game, and I was like, wait, they're playing good. But all of a sudden, they just choked the game from the second quarter. Like, it's kind of like they ran out of the gas in the second quarter. And then from then on, they were getting blown out, and they somehow found a way to fight back. Yeah. And we've seen this as a pattern with this team. Like, even when Melo's on the court, but like, AB, you need to pay attention to something. Without Melo, they're playing fast. They're playing what's expected. And this has happened with the Ball brothers, too. Their teams play what they're expected to play with the Ball brothers. But without them, they're playing this, like, with them, they play like shit. Like, they play slow. They slow down the pace. They take the ball from their hands. But now, without them, they're playing fast. They're giving the ball to the hot hand. They're not freezing no one out. Like, doesn't that seem like a coincidence?
No, you're right, man. And I think what it is it's like the gift and the curse of having like one of of being a Ball brother, right? Is that, and I've seen people make memes and kind of joke about it. And also we got my dog Farhar F Vision in here. What's up, IVD Press? But I seen people and OG J Speed in here as well. But what I seen people is they make the meme, right, where they like, you seen the RDC World where they had the video where it's like LaMelo just got a pass, and then that's the highlight, and then somebody he like, dang, I didn't see the dunk. And so I feel like people are emotional like that, to where, man, I want to shoot this that LaMelo gave me, but I know even if I make the three, it's his assist. That's the highlight. You know what I'm saying? I know that even if I kick it up to him and it's my assist, if he do a basic layup, it's his highlight. I don't get the and so I think that now it don't matter. It's like if I'm Gordon Hayward and I throw it to Caleb Martin and it's a nice pass, then it's my assist. People gonna give me the credit, and I think that get people get in their feelings, and that's what happens. Yeah. But let me see, man. My man OJ been in here. OG J Speed been in here for a minute, man. Yeah. You watched the game? You say what?
JC, what's up?
What's happening, man? We can't hear you if you're talking, OG.
Great. Okay.
Nah.
I like apart from that, like, who do you think, like, apart from Hayward, like, who had the biggest choke job out of all of them? Like, aside from Hayward, because Hayward paid the max, choked the game. But who had the biggest choke job to you?
I think PJ Washington playing 44 minutes tonight, having 0 points. That's unacceptable. If you on the court, I could give you a point in 44 minutes, and I ain't even know Hooper like that. You know what I'm saying? I might accidentally trip and score one time. You know what I'm saying? I could cherry pick one and get out.
44 points. You know what's funny? I thought he scored 44 points. I did not know that he had 44 minutes. Like, it's so funny. I thought he scored 44 points, and I was like, oh, shoot, he actually played 44 minutes and scored 0 points. Because I was like, oh, he hooped. Next thing you know, 0 points?
Yeah.
What are you doing in the court?
You got to get a struggling guy an easy bucket.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, now we can hear you.
Brother, because we need your insight on this one. Let's hear what you got.
Somebody say PJ girl got him drained. Allegedly. Golly. What's up, OG? What you got, man?
Hey, what I got is like when you got one of the Ball brothers playing, they don't wait for opportunities. They know what the opportunities are, and they make the opportunities. And that's a different type of basketball player. And so
OG, I have to pause you here because I want to add to your point. I want you to actually address it. Why do you think James Borrego actually compared LaMelo to Manu Ginobili? Because he said he makes something out of nothing. Like, any point on that?
No, I just wanted to finish the point I was on. And so I don't know what the statement he made. I use my own intelligence, my own brain when I'm looking at a basketball game. I'm a guy who's been in sports all my life.
I want you to explain that.
Okay, so what I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to make is the way their father trained them is you make the opportunity. That's why he pushed the pace. Now, when you slow down anything, I'm talking about any levels of life, then anybody can see what it is. It don't have to be basketball, anything of life. Once you slow it down, then everybody can catch up. But when it's on a fast pace, that's when you got to have that basketball IQ, boxing IQ. You got to have everything. That's what makes Floyd Mayweather so good. He know everything that a person could do. He know by moving one foot where the person had to be at by throwing one jab. So when it comes down to basketball, it's the same thing. This man was ahead of his time. LeVar was ahead of his time when he trained his boys to play basketball because he's seen what was out there. And he said, how could I make an impact in the games where my sons can go into the NBA or whatever level they play at what can I do to make them stand now? And what he did was speed up the game. It automatically speeds up the IQ. And that's the problem that the coach is having on the Hornets team and the Pelican team, because when you got a young team, you got to really be a coach. When you got guys who are veterans, you really don't have to be a Phil Jackson taught you that. But when you got young guys, that's when you see the coach ability comes in. This is not the right coach for that team. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, you're right. Because honestly, I was about to add Luke Walton to this one because you actually forgot him, because he coached Lonzo and he did the same thing. Like, I was even looking at when the Magic Johnson was talking about Lonzo and his IQ and all that, and he was talking about how he was always sat down for 2 straight quarters, and I'm like, Luke Walton really did that? Like, so if that's the case, then why sit him for 2 straight quarters when he was on your team? And we're seeing a similar pattern with Halliburton. It's just that he's learned from his mistakes and moving on from them.
Somebody got some music. Oh, there you go. No. I think both of y'all right, and I think OG you hit it on the head right there as far as LeVar creating the system that like really has allowed them to look as good as they're looking right now, right? And I think that folks don't really want to give that credit, and I think that you hear it sometimes even in the interviews when they're like, you can't really teach that, can you? And he's like, bro, look, you see it. I got 3 of them who doing it. And so it also speaks to, and I know that people be like, bro, Jello, but if you tell me you got 3 of them and I see it from 2, I want to see if the third one got it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what, so I say my dog Jello need a shot on based on that. But we got my dog Fahar Vision here. Fahar, man, what's up, man? What you got, man? I know you just tuned in to tap in.
Yeah. I didn't miss the game. I missed the game, but I did look at the stats and I did look at a few highlights and things like that. To me, the game ain't too much to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like you got PJ in there, man, 44 minutes, and that's what I was gonna bring to the table with 0 points, man. That don't even sound realistic. And big shouts out to everybody else on the panel, and thank you for allowing me on your platform again, bro. But OG hit he hit the best points ever. You know what I'm saying? As far as how the Ball brothers came up, how they playing. You know, it's like they see the NBA sees the game so technical, when LeVar sees the game so simple. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they can't even take what he says in consideration because it sounds too easy to do. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like he say, just run the fault, just run it up and down the court, run up. They gonna get tired. It's like I don't understand how that hasn't got to the masses. Is that's how you win ball games? If you score, what do you say? 30 points a quarter or a half or something, like 40 points a half, whatever. You 9 times 10 gonna win the game. It's just very simple information. So it's like everybody's so into how many points they make, or how many shots they make and things like that. LeVar saying, shoot it. Just catch it and shoot it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the format of what the NBA has. So it's like, that's why it's kind of hard for me to watch basketball now. You know what I'm saying? The game I love is because they made it so technical with different analogies of this person shot this many shots, this they percentage, this person blah blah, this how much play time they got, this so they making a game that's so simple, they making it so hard. And so when these players get in, they're professional, they have to learn this professional way. But when they was on the playground, they were just shooting and making these buckets. Now the game is changed. The knowledge of the game is really so simple. So like I said, OG hit it on the head, man. That's why people can't understand the Ball brothers, bro, because they trying to play this technical basketball when it's just so simple for them.
I get you, Chris. You actually hit the nail on the head, because you just referenced the point that Magic Johnson was saying in the same interview that was talking about Lonzo going to the Knicks, because he even said it that easy buckets matters in the playoffs. So when the game is easy, it matters in the playoffs. Like if Lonzo was in the playoffs, like you know how much easy buckets will be getting in. Like you said it yourself. Like the Ball brothers makes the games look so easy, and that's because LeVar's system is about making basketball look simple. The thing with the NBA is about the regimes and the training systems and the season length. All that actually affects the players. Like, look at Lamelo's injury, for example. Like, let's say that you play a large season length. You have to have a certain system constructed based on defensive schemes, drags, all that sets. And the thing is that the NBA makes the game look more complicated than it already is. The problem is that they don't want to listen to LeVar when LeVar actually makes the game more simpler than they actually see it. That's the problem with the NBA.
Yeah, what it is too, and I think I talked about this before, right? And I'll say to your point about the easy buckets, that's what I was saying is what happened right there in overtime, where there you out in transition, and when you got a guy like LaMelo who is used to playing in that fast pace and thrives in transition and helping you get easy buckets, like that's where that helps, right? So you get a LaMelo on the court tonight, and you got a higher chance to win this game if you get him in transition. Now, what I'll say is, and what makes it hard for these NBA guys to play that style that LeVar is like folks have been coaching you to slow it down. You look at every step for AAU basketball right now, where they just pretty much let you just run. You know what I'm saying? You look at the shot clocks that they put in high school basketball. You look at there's teams who literally will just hold the ball in 35, 45 seconds and just, you know what I mean? So you see that over and over in across all of the different stages. Look how slow college basketball is. They score 50, 60. If it's 80-point game, 80-point night, that's a high-scoring game for college basketball. So then in LeVar's thing is when he's telling you to speed it up, bro, I'm telling you that it is just hard for even players to comprehend it. They've been so ingrained with this half-court offense, let's slow it down, the run-up pick, let's do this stuff, that when you tell them to speed it up, it's just hard to do. And then if you're trying to get a coach to coach you to do that, he's like, what you mean? That's a bad. And it just takes time for the game to evolve. It's the same thing that we see now with this three-point shot, where back in the day, if you was trying to get somebody to take the amount of three-point shots that they take now, it is people would be losing their mind. You remember a couple years ago when Dame Lillard hit the step back logo three on Paul George, and Paul George was like, man, that's a bad shot. And then this in the All-Star game, he hit another step back, and he's like, bro, maybe it ain't a bad shot, man. Maybe that just is what it is. The LeVar system is going to take that amount of like that time for people to understand the pace of the game and how to play it. Because people understand that transition buckets is what you need, like Magic said, to kind of escalate and win in the playoffs. But it's hard to play that, man, because it's just like if you ever play football and you're a wide receiver and you're on the island by yourself, right? And they throw a deep ball and it's just you and the cornerback. Everybody in the stadium is watching you down there either make a play or not make a play. If you out in transition like that and you kicking that ball up ahead of people and you throwing it out of bounds, we seen tonight where Devonte tried to throw an alley up to Miles Bridges and it went off and threw it too high. We see it. It's not the same as if we run and you take a mid-range jumper and you miss it and it's whatever. It looked crazy. Now you look like you're throwing it away. We watch what's his name, Booker, try to throw one across the court and throw it out of bounds. You look crazy when you do that stuff. So it's tough to see, man. But it's a hard game to play.
I would like to respond to Cooperman's arrows who said that if Melo had played the game, they would have won because he sees the floor better than anyone. Because I'm like, dude, he's the tallest point guard in the draft. Like, out of all the point guards, how many of them that's 6'8" tall? Like, how many of them that's 6'7.5"? Like, how many of them? Like, he's the tallest. So obviously, his height will let him floor.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. In addition, like, I would say that it's not just height that matters. Like, LaMelo has a height advantage. Where he's really lacking is the weight. So obviously, him getting banged up, that's nothing new. I pray for a speedy recovery for the dude. It's just like LaMelo's so important. Like, this game even proves it that LaMelo's so important to the team that remember, I said it. They beat the Suns by just 3 points the last time. They lost by 4 points.
Yeah.
There's a 1 point difference.
Here's what I say.
Like anyone tell me what's different between both games? Like, just tell me that.
I'm gonna say this, and let me answer this comment here. It's not that LaMelo doesn't throw off assists. My point is that the part of what makes LaMelo and Lonzo and those guys different is that if he throws an off assist, he's not going to come down the court the next time and not throw that assist. If he comes down and misses a layup, he's not going to come down and then be hesitant when he comes into the layup. You know what I mean? Like they understand that it is about possessions, right? And if you're playing at that speed, you're going to make mistakes. And so what happens to a lot of NBA players, and also like my man Fahar was saying, it is tied to money and it's a business. If I get a turnover in my box score, that might affect me re-signing next year. So when you telling me to throw it out ahead, and I know that I might not make that pass, at the end of the season, when they start looking at how many turnovers I got, that's going to pop back up. You telling me to take quick 3-pointers and I'm taking 10, 15 shots a game. And really, I know that my box scores are going to look the best if I'm only shooting 7 of shots that I know that I can make. That matters to people. So that's what I'm saying is the difference. When people talk about LaMelo and they say it looks like he don't even care about the stats at times, which obviously my dog know he finna get a triple-double. He going to try to get it. So that's not 100% true. But you see, that's what I'm saying is that's the difference is you are allowed to make mistakes and Graham Devonte throwing that lob to Miles and having it be off is not the issue. It's just that now when you come down the court and you hesitate, you're hesitant to even drive to the basket because you know that once you get in there, folks are going to have to help and you're going to have to make an assist. So you don't want that problem. So now you step back and now you're like, dang, I just should have drove. Now I'm stepping back. And then now you pump fake. Now you're doing, and it just end up doing a lot with the basketball when it's just like, yo, make a quick decision, go with it, and then let's get back on defense if we need to.
Yeah, I mean that's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with that to me that goes back into how LeVar taught the game, and I think that's what these teams can't get. That's why I think they don't understand LiAngelo, because LiAngelo's still on it. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna throw that ball up every time he get it. As soon as he get down the court, even if he stand in that corner, he drive through the hole. He gonna shoot the ball. And in today's game, it's so technical that his stats, his percentage is gonna be way off, even if he's scoring 50 points a game. You know what I'm saying? That's how they treat James Harden. That's how they treat them guys that throw those shots like that, man. No, they still scoring triple doubles a game and they not MVPs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it cause the game's so technical. They looking at all the stuff that would took them to get 10 rebounds or 10 steals or 10 shots. You know what I'm saying? 10 points a game. They looking at what all this stuff it took, not the fact that it actually happened. So I think that's another reason why LiAngelo necessarily won't get his shot, which he's the best shooter. Like, I ain't really ever seen like too many people that shoot like LiAngelo. Like, he make baskets. I mean, he still hold the record in all of California right now in high school. Like, what is it, 90? How many points was that? 72 points or something like that in the game? It's unrealistic. So how LeVar taught those boys, man, how to play basketball, it's like they're like to me, I think that's what other than Zoe being hurt, him trying to learn this new type of basketball, you know what I'm saying? And they tell him, don't take those shots, don't shoot like that, don't do this, don't do that. You change the whole game that he had his whole life. So you can't expect for him to be the same person he was in college and high school when you literally change his whole game. Now, to me, the plus is with Melo is the fact that he went overseas and played pro in 2 different leagues. So he kind of got the understanding of the changing of the game before he even got to the NBA. But Zoe didn't have that. He didn't have that option. You know what I'm saying? It's like he had to come in, change my shot, come in, change my dribble, come in, slow down at the half court instead of keep on running. Don't throw the ball all the way down the court so far. Like, they had to tell him that. And I think that's what he's getting back into himself, and he's like, I'm gonna just play my game. And I think that's what happened this year.
So let me ask you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. OG.
Let me ask you guys. It may be something we haven't even thought about in these discussions. This is a business, right? And a lot of money is made on sports in Vegas, Atlantic City. A lot of money is made. Is it because some of this could be potentially because Vegas and Atlantic City can't get them point mark scores and all that stuff where they ain't ready for it yet? Because Vegas and Atlantic City still runs a lot of things. You know what I mean? So the point spread, think about this. If you got somebody who's going to score 150, 155 points, and Vegas is used to teams scoring no more than the max, maybe 125 on an average game, how would you give the point spread on these games if the people are scoring 140, 160? You understand what I'm saying? They can do it with the All-Star, but if somebody regularly, because if you really think about it, other than the looseness of the All-Star game, the speed of the All-Star game is almost like LeVar. That's how he taught his guys how to play.
Oh God. OG.
Oh yeah. Before I let you go, my brother, I told you I had something to tell you, and then what I'm gonna tell you so everybody know it live. That if you get in touch with LeVar, tell him he need to come out with the big ballers brief. Ain't everybody can fit the cup.
Oh man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all. I will tell you that I'm working on something. I'm gonna have him on the channel here soon. So stay tuned for that. I'll let him know.
Oh yeah, I was about to add to OG's point and say that the fast pace. I feel like the All-Star game. If you understand the All-Star game, there's barely any defense. Like there's barely exactly like so. You don't see much. The physicality is not like the physicality of the regular season. That's because the real physical game comes in the playoffs. That's why for me, I get worried with Melo about the playoffs when people are like, I want to see playoff Melo. I'm like, well, I hope he doesn't get injured, but I want him to really dominate. That I would love to see him in the playoffs and dominate. I hope the Hornets make the playoffs to let that happen.
Here's what I'll tell you, man. And I think that in the system that we're talking about and what makes it different than what you see in the All-Star game, right? Is the All-Star game, you see a lot of a high scoring because, like you said, there's no defense at all. Like at times, if you can get it to a certain point, they're not going to contest, they're going to let you do a highlight layup and they're going to do all of that stuff. In this system that we're talking about, they actually play a lot of defense. If you go back and you watch some Chino Hills games, they're trapping at the beginning of every possession. The difference is that because they want to push the pace so fast, is like if you get the ball to a certain place, we will let you shoot it, right? You're going to have to work to get it past half court, and we're going to D up every possession as you inbound the ball. But if you can get it to the basket, you can get a quick shot. So in essence, you end up actually playing more defense because you are playing more possessions of basketball. And because you're playing more possessions, you're not playing defense 24 seconds into the shot clock. You playing solid defense 14 seconds into the shot clock, and then you forcing them to take a quick three. You forcing them to shoot something that they probably don't want to shoot. And so it feels different, right? And if a team is hot and they make it, go ahead, you got it. You know what I mean? So that's a bit of the difference I'm saying. And I think that what happens in the playoffs, and you see this, right? If you go back to that series where it's Golden State versus the Cavaliers, and it's the game 7, and in the last 5 to 6 minutes, nobody's scoring baskets. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily because it's more physical. It's just that it's the same thing. The mental part of the game starts to play in. Who wants to take this shot that if I miss it, now it's on my head, right? Who wants to throw this assist across court, and if I throw it out of bounds like Devin Booker did tonight, now I'm that guy. So you start to see people play the game slower because just like everybody's been saying when in critiquing Melo is that he plays at a pace that creates assists, but then also turnovers. So like it's not as I wouldn't say that I think the playoffs are more physical a bit, but not so much because it's the same thing. Now the refs might let you play a little bit more, but also a foul costs you more. So now I'm gonna chase down block like LeBron, but you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like it's just so much. It's so nuanced, the differences on why things happen like that, right? So you're not. It is imagine Devonte Graham right now in Game 7 coming down and jacking threes like he was doing tonight. That's some Damian Lillard. Like I want it all, Michael Jordan type time, right? Where it's imagine him hezzy who, and then going all of that, and then having to go answer questions in the playoffs. He's not doing that. It's tough. It's another lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? That Damian Lillard step back 3 logo, you got to really be on some other type of time to have the heart to do that. And then so that's why it feels like they playing harder or whatever in the playoffs, but it's really just folks mentally are trying not to be that guy who messed it up, right? And only some of them are trying to be the guy who actually won it, right? So you hear people talk about that all the time, where it's like, I was listening to this thing where Damian Lillard was on, he was watching his highlights, and I was actually watching this earlier, and he was saying his first, like, they were watching his first ever buzzer beater, and he was saying like, yo, the funny thing is 3 games before that, 3 different times before this first one that I had, the coach is drawing up a play, and I said, yo, let me shoot it, and he missed 3 and then hit the 4th one. Everybody not ready to miss 3 of them, and then still won it on the 4th one. And on the 4th one, he said the coach looked at him and laughed. Another player said, bro, you crazy. And he said, no, it's Dame time. And so that's what I'm saying. It's a difference, man. I see my man OG got the camera on, so he ready to roll right now.
I'm ready to roll, man, because when I did make that comment about the All-Star guy, I wanted y'all to understand I was talking strictly about speed.
Yes.
I wasn't talking about defense or whatever, but I know as an ex-boxer for 20-something years, speed beat power any day. Mm-hmm. And I consider half-court basketball power. And I consider what Lamelo do and Lonzo was trained to do, it's speed. See, you can't hit what you can't see. Now, who can stop your speed on a basketball court? Only person can stop that is you by not being in condition. And the problem is these other basketball players who've been comfortable in their comfortable zone playing half court, it's due to the fact they haven't got their stamina built enough to run like that. And so if the coach is not used to coaching like that, how do you practice speed when you've been a coach who's been a coach who called plays and who do half court? See, speed give you plays that you wouldn't have in half court. Speed give you things that you can see on the court when a man might be slouching a little bit, and all of a sudden the man he's looking at the ball and his man is taking off. What you supposed to do? When your man take his eyes off of you, you supposed to run. That's even in half court. You don't supposed to be in the same spot. If your man ever take his eyes off of you, you never supposed to be in the same spot. That means you supposed to move. Now, he's looking for you to be in that same spot. You don't move to another spot, you open. And so that's what I want us to understand about speed is so important in this game today. Now, look, let's don't forget about Phoenix Suns used to run almost this same kind of basketball. Go back into the 90s. And the Phoenix Suns was scoring like 130-some points, but they was just running. They wasn't playing no defense at all.
And
they did make it to the playoff with that style. The way LeVar did it, he added defense in and trapping, just like you said, my brother. They be trapping. You know what I mean? They reaching for the ball. You know what I mean? They stand in the man's face. You know what I mean? Yep. And it's hard to do things when you're tired, man. That's why, again, I say when a coach got a 20-point lead and he let the team obviously keep coming back in certain quarters and it's keep duplicating the same thing, that is the coach's ability not to be able to coach this type of team. This team is ready to run, and Lamelo go make sure his team run because you know what? If he's gonna be the person who's in charge of the ball, he said, if you lazy, you don't get it.
Yeah.
So OG, you mean that he's the wrong man to run the Borrego's the wrong man to run the engine? That's what you're saying? Because I don't get it here. We already know Borrego is below 500.
I get what he's saying.
I'm just trying to understand that.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. Yeah, this is the thing, man. Like we gotta take in consideration that these coaches are being paid to be coaches. If the thing is that LeVar game of basketball, you know what I'm saying, is common sense. It's not necessarily coaching. You know what I'm saying? So you got a coach that don't run plays and just let the guy run up and down the court the whole game and score 160 points a game like they were doing in the JBA. It's not realistic because now he's got thousands of dollars behind it. Now we paying this coach millions of dollars. So it's like the coach got to look like he doing something. And I said this, and when I first met AB, I said this on the live, and it's like Struder made me really understand that this is the real thing. A lot of time, a lot of these players getting in the NBA and they contracts. A lot of these players' contract got minutes with them on the contract. Now I know for a fact, Struder said before he even stepped touched the basketball on the Lakers floor that I'm going to have the ball in my hand. I'm going to have these many minutes. He said that live on TV. And everybody's like, no, he don't do that. LeBron the point guard. He's so. No, that's what happened. Because I think they putting a lot of this stuff within these contracts. That's why I feel like Melo didn't start. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like them bringing some new pieces over they had in their contracts. You going to get these many minutes. And unless you start doing this, and then we're going to start switching things around. And I think that's really the only reason why Melo ended up starting, because a lot of the stuff that were probably in some other players' contract, they didn't do what they, you know what I'm saying? They didn't fulfill their part. So, and then somebody got hurt. Other than that, I think Melo will still be coming off the bench. I'm gonna be honest.
Wait. You mean he should come off the bench?
I believe he's saying he would.
No, he wouldn't. He would. I believe old boy would have never got hurt. Melo would have been still coming off the bench, giving us 14 and 8. You know what I'm saying? 14, 8, and 6. You know what I'm saying? Instead of these big numbers he giving us, he's been averaging 20 points ever since he's been in the starting lineup. I think that they wanted to start him, but the pieces they got before they drafted him, they have already had contracts on. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, I'd like to ask the panel and the chat if they can answer this. How would y'all rate the guy that got traded to be LaMelo's replacement for the moment? How would you rate his performance? And how would you rate the trade the Hornets made?
Bro, let me show y'all something real quick. This here on the right, this is PJ Washington, and this is Brad Wanamaker's total amount of field goals they made tonight. Both of them was 0. You know what I'm saying? PJ played 44, Brad played 4, and they both walked away with 4 points. You know what I'm saying? So I mean with 0 points. So it's hard to even say that he didn't play well, because he gave you the same amount as the dude who played 44 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But I think that is we've been talking about a lot here, right? And I will say that, and I had to stop you on this one for horror, because you was like the JBA, they was out there running, scoring 160 points, ain't nobody coaching.
No, I ain't saying nobody wasn't coaching. I know. I enjoyed the ABA. That was some of my best basketball, because I ain't gonna lie, I like the defense and I like how they coach. You know what I'm saying? They coach to the player. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They coach to, like, I think every coach knew every player's game, and they coach to the player. So I actually enjoyed that way of coaching. So I ain't even thought think it came out like that.
But no, but I say that to say I need to go through it, because I got a lot of footage from that, right? And I want to, even that fast-paced Chino offense that we've been talking about, like there are some clips that I have where LeVar is like, because you think it's just like just get out and run. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, just get out and run to this point. When I get the ball, you should be here. You know what I mean? And so I got these clips where he's like breaking down to these kids, like, you supposed to be here. He is showing you, like, if you go here, he can't intercept said pass. And if you go here, you open and you're supposed to be doing this. So I like want to put that out. So because I think it shows, like, it's not, it looks like a bunch of folks with they just hit chickens with their heads cut off running around, but there's actually some like science behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
Cause LeVar, I can understand it. Cause LeVar, he played both games, so he see it from a different level from somebody that just been coaching basketball the whole time. I mean, he played basketball in college and in the NFL, so he have a different look on the way passing, running. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like the way his boys play, because it's not just based off of one thing. It's not even based off of one sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The IQ of them boys, those are the IQs that quarterbacks got to have. You know what I'm saying? That Lamelo got, that Zoe got. You know what I'm saying? So I got where you coming from, bro. Yeah. I didn't even know it came off like that, but I got where you come from.
You didn't really come out like, I'm just messing with you. But here's my question to y'all, and even the folks who are in the chat right now, and I'll add the link here to see if some other folks want to jump in. But so right now, obviously, we just seen the Hornets. LaMelo been down 4 games, I believe, and we have seen they won the first 3, lost this game tonight. The only addition that they made at the break was Brad Wanamaker, and I feel like it's a consensus that folks didn't really understand that or wanted to see something different. But so my question is, like, I don't know if y'all watched that. It's a clip that I had put up where it's from the coach, the GM, Mitch Kupchak, and he kind of talks about the future of the squad. And he's like, yo, we got pieces right now who are playing better than we expected them to play. And he even said, like, LaMelo, they didn't expect LaMelo to do what he's doing. But he basically said that these guys who are playing better, what we're seeing is that their value is raising around the league. And so they're going to start having some pieces to move in the offseason. And my question is, out of these guys, the Terry Rozier who's hooping, you see Devonte Graham who's hooping tonight, the Miles Bridges, the Malik Monk, obviously Gordon Hayward, you know what I'm saying? He's got a big contract and he's going to have to hoop to really to validate that. But out of the dudes, if you had to make the tough decision of who you got to move, because Bismack's contract is coming up, Zeller's contract is coming up, and it's at the point where it's like the guys who we love and are really playing great basketball are going to be the pieces that they use to bring in different people. So who in that stable of guys who right now, the young dudes who hooping, do you think that they need to move on from, or try to, like, you know what I mean, trade them once the season is over?
All right, Ivy defense, I'll let you have the floor.
Oh, okay. Well, I ain't gonna lie. Me personally, I'm coming from a fan base. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who they trade. If they can get Lonzo there, I'm happy with it. I don't care who they trade. I would like I like Rozier and what he doing. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie. I'm only speaking from personal right now. I can't even answer that question like realistically, man. They can do whatever they got to do, man. If they can get Zoe there, that's all I like. I love him to come over to my Bulls, but if they can get Zoe, man, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. We got No Agendas podcast just jumped in.
Okay.
And we got Big J. Let's talk.
Let's get your opinion on this one.
What do y'all got for us?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
I feel like how y'all doing today? I feel like Bismack Biyombo has a great rapport with the young group, and he makes a good veteran for him. He don't need to be on the court at all, but in the locker room, he good. Cody got to go. Cody got to get up out of here. Yeah. That got to happen effective immediately. Terry and Devonte.
Okay.
Go ahead.
In my opinion,
Devonte and Terry
the
are
team they
similar
have,
players, but I think
they need to look
Devontae,
at
Hold on
a
one second.
center.
Both of y'all talking. Hold on, Big
With
J.
one
Let
person at a
Noah
time.
just finish
One
real quick.
person at a time.
I think Devontae and Terry are similar players, but I think Terry wants it more, and he has I think right now he's a win now person. I think Devontae is good for a team in the future. I don't think Terry and Devontae need to be playing on the same team. But so that'll be the two I move. I like Devontae. I wish he could come off the bench, but Devontae and Cody Zeller would be the ones I move. I would keep Monk, definitely LaMelo, and you got to keep guard. He makes so much, and Terry. And I would try to get a any big other than our big, any big, because our bigs are the worst in the league.
Okay. In my honest opinion, so you said that Devonte Graham, Cody Zeller, who else? Who else do you say?
So here's, and this is what I'll say. At the end of the season, Bismack Biyombo's contract is up. Cody Zeller's contract is up. So, like, those are not pieces that will be eligible to be leveraged. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be free agents anyway. So with them, it's either going to be re-signed or we got to find somebody else. So the question is, you got the Devonte Grahams, the PJ Washingtons, the Malik Monks, the Miles Bridges, the Terry Roziers, the Gordon Hayward. Those are going to be the most valuable pieces that you got to try to bring in one of these bigs that we want to see. Unless you know what I mean, you sign like a JaVale McGee as a free agent or something like that. But so like out of those guys, who do you think is the people that got to be moved in order to make it happen?
Well,
it's like fool's gold. It's like fool's gold. Do they really want to trade for somebody?
If I would, in my opinion, I feel like I love Devonte, but I feel like him and Zeller get him out. Terry Rozier is the perfect backcourt mate for LaMelo, like the perfect backcourt mate. Like when I watch their game and LaMelo and Terry play, it's so functional. Plus Miles Bridges on the court is just good. Even Vernon Carey Jr. even. Like I want Vernon Carey to get more minutes because I want to see what he can do. Because today I didn't even see him play, let alone be a part of the roster at all. So I want to see more from Vernon Carey. But if I would trade somebody, trade Devonte and Cody Zeller. Those two gotta go. Because Devonte is a great closer, and he will be good for a team like the Pelicans because they don't have a closer. And Devonte would be perfect for the Pelicans because they need someone that can close games. And he's the perfect guy for them. Terry Rozier.
We just seen Devonte try to close tonight and couldn't do it.
But you know, Terry the only one, James Borrego, the only sharp person, James Borrego leaving the game even when it's defensive reasons. Like he trusts Terry offensively and defensively. He take LaMelo and Devonte out the game defensively, you know, and put in Cody Martin and they gotta go too. The Martin boys gotta go. That don't make no sense to me though. But Terry is trusted defensively, so he gotta stay.
Big J. Let me get Big J in here because he was talking earlier. Big J, I want you to be able to finish your point.
Yeah, man. I think you can trade everybody you want to trade, but when you still have the same coach, that's gonna be an issue.
Right.
You can bring other people in, but the coach gotta change. And this is the question I ask: would Michael Jordan have played under James Borrego? And if Jordan is looking at Melo in the same class, you got to change the coach, then work from the outside with the pieces.
Oh, I like it. The coach too, you got to remove because, like we've all said here, we all agree he's not the perfect fit for the team. We can say the same for the Pelicans too. Like Stan Van Gundy just doesn't fit the Pelicans. When you're a young team that can run the break, it's just a bad fit.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I see some flaws in Borrego coaching. However, I think that there are moments in where I see some like, all right, bro, you might be a real coach. I think that think that he's up against it right now, and I think it's the Hornets organization is because I believe when the season started, and to my man Farhar's point is I think that they expected LaMelo to be a guy who we could just play off the bench, right? He gonna come in, give us some solid minutes. We're gonna let him grow, and he ended up being like much more than that. I think that they thought Devonte Graham is gonna be our guy, and he's gonna like do what he did tonight, and that's gonna be easy. And then so people will understand LaMelo coming off the bench, adding a spark if he can, right? I think that we heard him talk so much, and I believe that they legitimately went into the season not knowing what to do, and I think that somebody said it in here in the comments of Borrego be hyping Devonte up so much because I feel like they trying to get the value from him, right? In this offseason, they going to have to give Devonte Graham at least a sign and trade, right? We're going to sign you, add you some more bread, and then we're going to get you up out of here. And in order to do that, they can't have him coming off the bench behind LaMelo. So, like, when you start talking about that money earlier and how that was maybe a play and like it's in the contracts, I believe that. And my man, shout out to my man DJ, New Media Nation United in the building, man. I appreciate that. It's all love.
Like I would even say this. Though. Why not, instead of firing JB, why not make him the assistant coach and hire a new head coach?
Because that's what I'm saying. That sounds good, but that's like it's a respect thing. Like ain't nobody. You're not gonna fire me. You're not gonna demote me and then bring in somebody else. I ain't even going with that. But
AB, check this out. AB, check this out. What about Vernon Carey's on the bench? Are we going to trade Vernon Carey, or are we going to see if he can play?
Oh, yeah. Weren't they about to trade Nick Richards, too? at one point? And they canceled that trade? Like, I don't understand what Mitch Kupchak is thinking, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. I gotta go, but I want to say this, man. Be honest. I don't think all of this stuff is necessarily the coach. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand the coach gotta answer to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's not that just these ball players is doing this and doing this. No. I believe that he wanted to start Melo once he seen him shoot off that game. He came off the bench, he scored like 20, he got like a triple-double the first one. I think that's when he was like, yo, I think we need to pull this. But I think based on all those other contracts and the other stuff that they already had going with other players, that we got to do it this way. That's why he kept on saying, well, he got to earn his minutes. He got to earn his minutes. No, the thing is he ended up earning his minutes, just like he said. Like, I think coach wanted Melo on the floor. They lost a lot of games when they took LaMelo out in the late fourth quarter and things like that. When they seen Melo, he had the game. He had already had 15 points in like 2 halves, and they didn't finish it off. So I just wanted to say that, man. And I appreciate you, AB, for having me on your platform again. I thank everybody for tuning in. And make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell on this channel, man. It's always great rapping with you, brothers. We always have a good time talking about the game that we love to do, man. I love y'all, and y'all be blessed, man.
For sure, man. Yeah. Appreciate you coming through, man. Appreciate you coming through.
Appreciate it.
Peace out, brother.
I'll say this. I agree with my man Farhar that it's obvious that somebody wanted him to play, right? In this latest video that I did on the channel, if you ain't seen it, go check it out. It's Mitch Kupchak, right? He did an interview, and I feel like he did a good job of just like answering questions. Like it wasn't a lot of dancing. It wasn't a lot of like, oh, I can't say nothing. Like I think that throughout the season, if you watch the James Borrego like pre-post game interviews, you could tell that he can't really speak about certain things, and he kind of dodged. Mitch Kupchak put it all on the line, and at one point he talked about like being the person who like is maintaining the long-term vision for the Hornets, and he talks about the coach maybe trying to win like immediately or trying to do and make moves that like please certain things, and then being trapped in between Jordan and what Jordan wants to see on the court and all of that stuff. And he has to be the one who is like, yeah, that makes sense, but we about to but we got to do this, you know what I'm saying? And even like they asked him a question about with this trade deadline, right? It's like y'all been so successful lately. Was it tempting to not try to go all in and try to like shift the roster or whatever and try to win now? And he was like, yes, we thought about it. We almost bought the farm, you know what I mean? Almost sold the whole farm and tried to get the best team that we would have had possible. And I feel like, to me, what I believe, if you ask JB, he probably is like, yo, the roster that we got right now is legit. Let's roll. Jordan is like, these dudes is all right, but really, I'm cool with getting everybody up out of here. And then Mitch Kupchak is in the middle, like, we don't need to get everybody out here, but we don't need to keep everybody too. And so I think it's a jumble, and it'll take some time to see who is going to play out where and who's going to stay and who's going to leave. I believe that, and to answer my own question that I said earlier, I think that let's say Devonte Graham, because he probably got the most favorable contract, he's probably going to be a dude who's going to be around for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Unless him and Melo just bump heads to a place where they just got to get him up out of there. But I think that it'll be interesting because we never really got to see Melo and Devonte on the court like that doing their thing. We got to see to my man Tafik's point, and I hope I said your name right. I apologize if I didn't. But to his point, we seen Rozier and we seen Lamelo play, and I liked it. Early on, I remember folks was like, yo, y'all got to trade Rozier. And I'm like, I don't know. I like what Rozier doing, right? And his contract is crazy or whatnot. But so I think that you're going to see some of these guys like the Malik Monks, who is hooping right now. He might be up out of there. And I think that even though Rozier looks like the dude who will probably carry us to the next level, in the short term, he probably going to be one of the guys who end up getting up out of here as well. And I hate to see it.
Hey, Vito, listen.
Yeah.
We all know there's only one weak position on our team. Man.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, we're in the 6th or 7th seed right now. Off of power forward, small forward, shooting guard, and point guard. Just them 4 positions has got us to this place. I mean, man, like if we make any move towards I felt like this. If we'd have got Vucevic, I felt like we'd be championship ready this season.
Yeah.
Real talk. Because we have stars who may not be superstars, but they realistically close to being all-stars in every position except the center position. That's just how, like Miami got to the finals like that. So I don't think it needs to be this great overhaul. You'd have made a lot of good picks, and all those picks, LaMelo was the salt. He was the salt that brought all the flavor out. You see all these good picks is playing good now, except the center position. That's the only position that has not gotten better.
Yeah, but here's the reality. The team is not used to making decisions. You have Mitch Kupchak, who is a horrible GM, and that's my opinion. So then when you look at it and you check it out, this is why I'm asking. MJ, I watched your video about Michael Jordan, and I believe Michael Jordan is at the head of all this. And what he needs to do is understand Lamelo Ball has the same type of influence on the game that you did, MJ, whereby you have to make it conducive to the pieces which are around him can get him a championship while he's in his early 20s and not 30s.
Well, let's be clear about something. Michael Jordan's choices are terrible, even his choices in closing. He has never made good decisions. But putting Mitch Kupchak where he is, Mitch Kupchak is the reason why this team got the hitters on it. So Mitch Kupchak, he was dog with the Lakers. He's great at what he does. But like AB was saying, like, some got to shake because you're not going to win a championship like this. But I just don't think that it needs to be some big overhaul. I think if we address that center position, I think we gonna change the game.
I think that I agree. I feel like folks in the comments is like, yo, Mitch Kupchak is terrible. Now, I can't say that. I think that Mitch is, I feel like it is hard to call it right now as far as what is happening with the Hornets, because they actually look here's what I'll say. When I listen to Mitch Kupchak talk about the team that's on the court right now, he talks about it as if I didn't know this was going to happen. So, like, they look better than anybody imagined them to be. And if he would have been like, yo, yeah, we put these pieces together, I knew this was going to happen, I'm a mastermind, I'd be like, yo, Mitch is on to something. But when you tell me you draft a rookie and you say, but I didn't even know he was going to be this good. We was hoping. Then it feel like it's an accident. When you got Rozier and Malik Monk and all of these young dudes playing much better, and you telling me, they are exceeding all our expectations, it feel like an accident to me. I think that, like a lot of people have said, the glaring weakness is the center position. However, we look at, you got Vernon Carey, who ain't touching the court, who like should be like the future as far as that goes. So yeah, you could go get somebody in free agency, or is the guy who you need on your bench and you're just not giving him a shot yet. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do eventually give him a shot, did he take a leap like we've seen PJ Washington take? Obviously tonight PJ played 44 and gave you 0. But you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a lot of different ingredients that they got to really to figure out. But I think that is something to be said, that they actually got to figure it out. They can't just keep letting it happen to them, because that's what it seemed like right now. It seemed like they just lucked up. We ain't watching them. Borrego said, "Oh, I never watched LaMelo play until the first practice. I didn't even know he was this good. I was and I'm like, bro, come on, man." So now all of the success to me is like it's an accident.
And AB,
is Vernon Carey really a dog like that though?
When you watch it, somebody sent me the clip, and I was gonna do a video about it. I never got around to it, but they sent me a clip of him in the bubble, and you look at him in the bubble, and he looked like one of the best big men in the bubble. He blocking shots, scoring is easy. I want to say he was like 22 and 10 or something a night, and was giving you like 4 or 5 blocks type of thing. Like was dominating.
Killing the G League, but I didn't know he was. Okay.
So he was killing the G League, and I always say this. If you are talented, when you go play against somebody in the G League and you go play in these other leagues, then you got to be giving me astronomical numbers, and I can look. You know what I mean? You can't give me if Vernon Carey played in tonight's game and he was like 10 and 5, I'd be like, okay, like that's solid minutes for Vernon Carey. If you go to the G League and you give me 10 and 5, then I'm like, maybe you're not ready to play in this game. But if you go to the G League and you're 22 and 10 or whatever, then I'm like, okay, bro, I see what you got going. And I felt like from what I could see when he was down in that bubble, he was doing this thing. I mean,
what you think the reason it is for not playing him over Cody and Biombo?
I think that is the same. And this is when my man, I think it was OG was critiquing Mitch, and folks critique Borrego and all of them. It's the same issue that we've seen with LaMelo. They were not intending on playing LaMelo and making him as much of a focal point as he has been this season, because he's a rookie. They thinking like, yo, you got a young guy, we're going to bring him up, right? You look at Borrego, and he used to being in the Spurs system, and what we do is we be farming players. We send them to the G League. You see how many guys that they have who are not, I wouldn't say necessarily become stars, but become solid players based on we going to like really bring you along slow. And so I think that's what's happening with Carey. That's what's happening with even Jaden McDaniels. Is they just like, yo, we're going to slow it down for you. And I think that especially obviously with COVID and the way the season started and all of that, like that was one of the main excuses of like, we ain't even got enough time to see what you look like on the court and all of that jazz. So I think that's what it is. But I'm of the belief that if you're a hooper, bro, I'm gonna let you hoop.
There's a quote that fits the Charlotte Hornets. And that quote says this: if you always do what you've always done, you will always have what you always had. LaMelo Ball changed that narrative. And if they don't take advantage of it, they're going to miss out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that it's an opportunity to like really, even before the season and before the draft and all of that, there was an interview that went around with Jordan, and he talked about like how hard it is to get you a signature player in Charlotte, and how hard it is to keep one, right? Because then after that rookie contract, they got to re-sign. And I think that they have to realize that they in such a tough position, because you got a guy like LaMelo Ball who is somebody who should be the face of your franchise, but who is already at 40 games into the season, and folks already talking about him being the face of the league in the next couple of years, and you got him on your team. You got to like start really planning on, now we got to keep him, but you also got to keep an understanding of, for him, it's not going to be about the money. Like with Giannis, you can keep Giannis in Milwaukee because we can offer Giannis, a kid from Greece, more money than he would have ever seen. LaMelo already came into the league with some bread. You know what I'm saying? He got a huge Puma deal. So now when it comes down to free agency, you just can't throw money at him as a reason to stay. You got to throw, man, we really treated you well. We really built a team around you. We really opened the doors up to the city. We gave it, you know what I mean? And it's a family now. This ain't even like, we want your best interest just like you want ours. That's what you're going to have to sell to Melo. And I think that what scares, if you're a Hornets fan, like a real life, I've been a Hornets fan since before LaMelo got there, where you should be scared is, I don't know if they've been treating him like that.
Yeah.
What's crazy, AB, you think about Malik Monk, 6'4", 6'3", and shoot deep. D'Angelo Ball is that. You talk about a family. D'Angelo 6'6" and do that. Like this is the perfect opportunity to do that, and it's right there to be there.
Yep.
Somebody in the room just said Vernon Carey was killing Biz in practice. I believe that. I watched the G League games, and Vernon Carey was actually balling. I believe he was going 23 and 10 with assists, and he can hit the 3-point shot.
Wasn't this the same guy that tried to pull a James Harden step back in the G League against the Cavs G League team? That's the same guy, right? That pulled a James Harden step back. Okay. The thing is, I feel like the franchise players should, the guys to build around. If I was Mitch Kupchak, I would try my best to keep LaMelo, Hayward, even Rozier, even Monk happy. Those guys are the core piece on the team.
Not Hayward.
Okay, Hayward is the outlier. My bad. But
no, Hayward is gone.
I'm sorry, big man, but Hayward is still struggling in that game from when he was in college against Duke, when he missed those 2 shots. That's why during the Lakers game, when he went to do that layup by himself, he blew it.
Guys, I've not even explained the point of why I mentioned Hayward. You see, Hayward and LaMelo are actually the most impactful. And let me bring the statistical evidence. According to the NBA, LaMelo and Hayward have the highest player impact estimate in the Hornets team at 12.4. They're both tied. The only person that have the advantage is LaMelo. LaMelo has the consistency advantage in the player efficiency rate. So the thing is, the most important player on the team, if you are going to keep happy, is Melo. The second player to keep happy is Hayward. But if I was going to keep someone else happy apart from those two, it's either Monk or Rozier. Everyone else, you can determine. Like, what do y'all think about that?
Do you think that Hayward would compete when it comes to the West? Because most of those games are in the East. You see, LaMelo drops dime, whatever team it is. But when it comes to I'm telling you, go back and watch Butler versus Duke. This dude is stuck in the. I'm telling you, when he was with Miami, when he was with Celtics, he was under the basket again himself and missed the wide open layup. Somebody needs to check it out.
I don't mind Hayward because Hayward don't dominate the ball. When he shoot his high percentage, he he don't dominate the ball. When he shoot his high percentage, and he'll go for 40 or he'll go for 10, but it won't be a horrible shooting night. Now he'll shoot 3 shots in a row, but then if he ain't hitting, he gonna go sit down. But he don't dominate the ball, so I don't mind that.
Well, what do those games in the West prove to us?
I feel like many Hornets fans don't understand what new media and everybody else are asking for. We're not asking for Hayward. Like, even look at the games. We're just begging Hayward to just, for the love of God, just don't be a playmaker. Just be a scorer. Just go in there, be a catch and shoot shooter that you were drafted for, and that's it. We don't ask for much. Just go in there, be a scorer, catch the ball, and that's it. No one is asking you to pass the ball and be LeBron 2.0. That's what we don't want. We don't want LeBron.
I want him to be Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
Well, you got to understand, when you are in North Carolina, that's where the Hornets play as where I was born at in 1959. All right. So you got to understand up and down that Macy-Dixie line, North Carolina's, you can name off the teams up and down. And there are some levels of basketball when it comes to that. And they like their basketball teams to produce. And that's one of the things that you got to understand is I keep saying speed. I keep saying endurance. I keep saying stamina, which pretty much is the same thing. I'm 61 years old. Ain't too many guys in their 20s can hang with me on the basketball court at my age. And I ain't learned how to play basketball till I was like 40-something years old. And so what I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to compare myself to what they do in the NBA, but it all works out to be the same thing. If you condition your body to run the whole game and other people around you, you're the strongest link and everybody else around you is the weakest link. Well, you got 1 or 2 players who's going to run out and you can pass the ball to. I mean, it's going to be okay, but you're never going to be up to standard till you get the whole team to buy into that. And if the coach don't never buy into it and you trying to do something, then it's almost like you're disrespecting the coach and his playmaking ability or his coach making ability. And so I see why LaVar really want all his boys to play together, because I really believe if all 3 of them play together, it'd be some hell in the NBA. Right. I just really believe that. I mean, we can sit down and analyze this one way or the other way because there's so many players and so many levels to this game, how things are done and ran, that we probably, as people looking from the out, looking in, will never be able to understand it or know the power of the B. I don't know if Michael Jordan just turning everything over to Mitch Kupchak or whatever. Matter of fact, that was a very, very good video you did earlier this morning, my brother. I checked out the whole thing when Mitch Kupchak was there answering the question. So if you haven't seen that video, please go back, and then some of this may make sense. And so I just understand North Carolina and their basketball. They love their basketball there. And sooner or later, they're going to have to start producing in that team.
Well, it seems like they about to start now. They set the stage is set for them.
I went back and looked at a video of in 1987 of Magic Johnson and the Lakers against the Celtics. Lamelo Ball has the same flair. He has the same ability. When I matched their games and I critiqued it, the kid, all he needs around him is the right pieces. If the right pieces are around him, and Charlotte is a basketball town, they take that team from a small market team to a big market team real quick. All he needs is a center. All he needs, let Miles Bridges run. All he needs is the right pieces. Is over with.
If JaVale McGee come over here, man, that's championship.
Agree.
You know, JaVale McGee actually makes the prediction, but Hornets fumbled the bag on that one. They could have got McGee on the trade deadline, but I hope they get him in the offseason though, which I probably think that would never happen.
I'm tired of seeing our big mispass.
I think I like guys like JaVale McGee, who is like a Dwight Howard. I feel like this season that picking up either one of them would have been like a game changer. And I think that from that same Mitch Kupchak video that we kind of been referencing, what I've seen is some of the moves that they probably would have made at this trade deadline would have looked different if they would have had LaMelo still on the court. Right. So I think that McGee's and the Howard and some of these guys, they would have went after if they would have had LaMelo and would have thought like, yo, we got a shot. This is what we need. We need to shore up this part. And I'm saying that I believe that the reason why you don't go do that is because in the offseason, when LaMelo, you already got a point guard. So what you're trying to do is raise the value of all of these guys who you don't need next season. You're not going to need both Terry and Graham next season. You're not going to need a Brad Wanamaker. You're not going to need. So those guys we're going to have to figure out how to get rid of. And I feel like so they kind of set the table to let those dudes shine to close out the season. But even back to my other point, I don't even believe that, like right now, they was on a 3-game winning streak. I don't even believe that the Hornets front office felt like that they would have been able to accomplish that. I feel like many people felt like they were just going to fall off the cliff without LaMelo. And I think that they thought that too. And that's why they didn't make no moves. Like, it ain't no point. We already know we're going to maybe miss the playoffs, maybe not, you know what I mean? Maybe end up in the 8th or 9th seed in the playoff game without LaMelo. So I think that they didn't really want to risk it all. And I think that it's just one of those another signs that it scares me for the future, because I think that they over planning, but then like not planning at all. I don't know. It's a weird kind of space to watch them from afar and see like what decisions they are making and what decisions they're not making. And right now, like that big Brad Wanamaker situation to me, that like blew my mind. So,
hey, AB, let me ask you a question. Do you think that LaMelo Ball would have got injured? Now, I know he was driving to the basket, but if there's a center down low and in the paint, he wouldn't receive so many falls because there's no one to pass the ball to.
100%, yeah.
I think that's right. Refs, though, man. Them refs been holding him. They don't give him the calls he deserves.
But when no one's scoring, guess what he has to do? And he showed us, you know what? I willing to go down there and get beat up at 195 pounds. I wanted to put my body on the line. But if he has somebody to pass the ball to, which we know he's capable of doing, he wouldn't take so much punishment.
No, I agree. I think that's that's part of it, right? If you could go down there and because people know, and I think this is based on Lonzo's career so far and what we see from Melo, like, and even at times you see this at Melo, he kind of get into it. And I've heard like Malik Monk and a few different people talk about how much they preach drive and kick. And like there are times where you watch like LaMelo get into the lane and he do the same thing that you see Lonzo do, is get to the paint and then without even thinking about going for a layup, be looking for somebody to throw it back out to. And I think that like if you have a big, right? So I think that I've seen him do that. We've also seen him drive to the basket and be able to finish and all of that jazz. So people respect it, but they also know that he will get into a funk and look to pass. But he probably missed an assist or two a game of not having a dominant big like that to just get there and throw it up to, right? You see him be able to win with Miles Bridges throwing them lobs and making that work. So yeah, if you had a big who could catch it and get it and be athletic above the rim, it probably would have saved him from some of the contact that we seen him have to endure. But it's also, I feel like they just don't call a lot of it. You know what I mean? And I hate when he start to what my calls at. You know what I mean? But it's just. But
I agree with your man though, because you look at when Lonzo played with Jackson Hayes, when they run that pick and roll, man, that lane opens up because you gotta respect the alley. So a lot of a lot of LaMelo's contact comes because you don't even have to play Biz and Cody. Cody only gonna score the first 4 minutes of the game. That's it.
That's
and
a
then
fact.
he's not score again. It's crazy. And Biz, he plays good defense. But man, when we played Denver, Jokic was playing off of him. He destroyed the whole game. This man had like a triple-double with 30 points, 15 assists. Like, that was the center position was destroying the whole game.
Agenda. I gotta cut off there. You know, it's a pattern with the Hornets, man. Like, it's not new. Like, there have been so many times that the centers of the other team just average a double-double. Like, for some reason. Like, Jokic averaged a triple-double on the Hornets because they don't have no interior force or a center that can stop them. Like, you don't have, like, Nick Richards is a decent defender enough to shut him down, but, you know, we don't see that. Let alone Vernon Carey. Yeah.
They don't close out well. They can't move their feet at all.
Yeah.
They're too big and too slow.
You know who run the picks down low? You know who run the picks down low and give his body up? LaMelo. If you watch that game, man, when LaMelo played against not Robin Lopez, but Robin Lopez was under the basket. LaMelo went down and took a hard shot just to pass the ball when there should have been another big or the 4 down to be able to. I'm telling you, watch the games.
Hey. I would almost
that reminds me of the
play that played the big. Be honest with you.
Oh, okay, my bad.
DJ Miles, that's how it be.
Yeah.
Okay. I said that reminded me of the play that LaMelo almost got clotheslined, but he somehow still managed to drop a pass.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
To a big man. Because honestly, like, you need a big man that can at least help space the floor for LaMelo. I'm not talking about a big man that can shoot a 3, but a glue hand big man that can catch LaMelo's passes. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. This is a serious question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
One thing I see, like in the NBA, it's gonna be hard for rookies to get calls anyway. But one thing I see with LaMelo is a lot of, I call I guess veteran basketball guards. So when they go down, they are trying to make contact. LaMelo used so much finesse, the guy might grab his arm or shoulder, something that the referee might say he don't see, versus the other guys who go and make contact and then make that finesse shot. Do you think that might be something he can include in his offense, where he's actually going in a person's chest and then making that finesse so the person can't block the ball or something like that?
That's up to his coach. This is what I'm talking about, coaching. JB, a lot of times, man, when LaMelo takes some dog shots, does he even get up and defend his superstar? So what LaMelo has to do, he has to create his own offense and a defense because there's no true support. Yes, the players love him, but he's doing a lot by himself. Well, most coaches will be up, you know what, I'm gonna get a T. I'm gonna get kicked out the game. So you'll know this is my star player, and you can't keep doing it.
Oh, Big J, you're right. The thing is with Borrego is that he doesn't defend LaMelo in the game. It's during the press conferences that he starts to come to Melo's defense. Remember the game against the Spurs where they were literally pulling the hack-a-shack on LaMelo. Like, literally, Borrego was on his defense being like, but he came up with a rookie excuse like, well, he's a rookie, he's not going to get those calls. But I'm like, hold on. Why is Anthony Edwards getting called? Why is Tyrese Halliburton or all these other rookies getting called? Like, but LaMelo's not getting them called. Like, it's strange.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think Melo's wrist injury came from when he got a text from complaining and slapped the floor. I think that was the beginning of his wrist getting injured because they don't give him no calls. He got mad.
Then he said, "I'm gonna go hard." Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got it right here, man. Here's the it's a list of free agents coming up. I'm gonna see. Let's go to the center. Let's see who is
Kelly Oubre. Oh my God.
I think I heard they were trying to get. Also, before we talk about this, I find it so funny, man, how if you listen to the media before like this trade deadline, everybody named Mama Lonzo Ball, and it was getting traded to the whole entire NBA. Every other day, it was a new Lonzo Ball is going somewhere. He was going to Charlotte. He was in New York. He was going to Chicago. He was going to LA. He was damn near all over the whole league. And then all of a sudden, he ended up staying with the team that he was just with anyway. So
I gotta explain that. You see, the thing is that it's kind of like one thing. If you ball facts can even explain this to you. The thing is, on the outside, they kind of look Melo off, and on the court, they'll be like, "Well, Lonzo is not shit to them." But on the inside, they know who Lonzo truly is. So I feel like that impacted the David Griffin and also Zion. Like, come on, if Lonzo leaves, okay, let me finish. If Lonzo leaves, it'll be wrapped for Zion. It'll be wrapped for Zion because he's losing his best friend and his vet, and that's game. That's game for the Pelicans.
Yeah, no,
I can tell you how we feel about him out here. Lonzo not going nowhere. The pressure is going to be on David Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going, and we love him. Absolutely love him. Everybody out here love him.
So, and I agree. I think that for me, it's just funny that the media are the ones who just shoot all of these things out as if the folks in New Orleans not rocking with Zoe. You know what I'm saying? And so they just keep going. Let me see. All right. So let's look at this.
He can shoot threes too.
All right. So you got Ibaka. Cody Zeller is. I hope this list not ranked by who they feel like is caused by money.
Lurch is a free agent.
Yeah, free agent. That's what I was saying. Bismack and Cody are both free agents, so they probably not coming back anyway. Yeah, and hit the like button, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let them free.
Let them free.
I gotta ask. What does the trade deadline really teach us about Zoe himself? Like what the team's seeing Zoe? Like what does it really explain to you guys? Because to me, it shows how much Lonzo's talent is really valued along the league, especially with other teams than his own team. But what do you guys think?
You have players who say that Damian Lillard said you have not seen the best out of Lonzo. And what you're starting to see now, you're starting to see the reality of other people's thoughts and thinking. So now when you have GMs, they're worried about he wants $20 million. But you know what? The Pelicans, I think, are going to give him that $20 million. So what people didn't want to do is take him right now, and then he didn't sign next year.
Yeah, and here's what I'll say.
The biggest thing people not considering is that LaMelo and Lonzo changed locker room. You look at everywhere they went, the locker room and the guys have had chemistry. They changed locker room, and you can't buy that with players because most players are out looking for how they gonna benefit. Like JB said, these boys already got money. They're not playing for who gonna get the biggest check. They playing to win. And so when you got that in the locker room, everybody plays as a team. If that's gone, man, if they not look at how the Hornets look now that LaMelo done electrified them. Monk passing the ball now. Devonte got buku assists and stuff. They playing as a team. You take that out of that, man, you're gonna lose the locker room.
What David Griffin said was this: what we're gonna do, we're gonna let him go out there because remember, they can give him the franchise tag, not the franchise tag, but they can pay him what someone else tries to pay him. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna let him test the market. And then if they can pay him that $20 million, they're going to bring him back because David Griffin just said, you know what, we don't want to let him go, but we don't want to pay him for being here.
But I think they also understand that LeVar's dream is going to come true one day, and his boys going to play together, and that's Lonzo may leave. So
yeah, I think that here's what I think, and it's just being honest. I think if you look at Lonzo in the bubble last year. Before the bubble, he looked like he was coming along. In the bubble, it looked rough.
Yes.
So if you talking about now, you want me to give you $20 million based off the last time I seen you, I don't know if I can do it. And I think that literally in New Orleans, that's how simple it was. It's like I think that they don't mind giving him that money potentially here in the future or in this offseason. But based off the last time we seen you, we couldn't do it. We probably was about to do it. because you and Zion and all of that stuff, and just his showing that he had in the bubble just wasn't there. And now, if I think that, and this is what I was saying previous to the beginning of the season, is that I felt like he was on this pathway. Either he was going to play just good enough that would have had enough value that they could have traded him, or he was going to play like he could play and they was going to have to keep him. And I think that him not being traded has bought him some time to be in that, okay, we got to keep you type of market. And he just got to
Blake Griffin.
You say what?
I said, you think he was trying to Blake Griffin up out here?
Blake Griffin. You mean the next move with the Clippers and Blake Griffin just sending him to Detroit? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's what you saying, AB, man?
I'm saying, look, yeah, no, yeah. Well, they like, yo, bro, we love you, man. You here? You nah. I don't think that they gonna do that to him. I think he ride, man. He gonna be there for
I'm talking about Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin stopped playing good in Detroit, and all of a sudden he comes back 17 points per game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's exactly what he would have. He gonna be on that type of time. And I remember even right at the trade deadline, every time Lonzo played somebody he was rumored to go to, he was hooping. He played the Clippers and was going off. He played Chicago, was going off. So, you know what I mean? He got some sense about him. But let me see, man. Hey, appreciate you, God of Blackness, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm moderating the whole thing for me. I appreciate that as well, man. But let's see. I'm gonna try to pull this up again here, man. All right, we got the big man free agents for next year. Obviously, Cody Zeller, who which is crazy to me that he up here with the biggest contract. Bismack, but I'm gonna tell you, based on all of the stuff that I feel like everybody has said that they really want to see in one of these guys, like it's not a lot of that on this list. Like one of these, well, I guess so, man. Mitchell Robinson would probably play good with LaMelo. Hassan Whiteside might be decent with LaMelo. If you can get Dwight Howard for not that much money, you might, you know what I mean? I can see that being dope. JaVale McGee for not a ton of money, that would be dope. But I don't want to see like an Enes Kanter, or I ain't trying to get a Robin Lopez or none of those guys. Who do you think, based on the upcoming free agents, would be inserted into this Hornets lineup?
Vernon Carey. I'm gonna tell you why. When your superstar is constantly texting or tweeting to another player in a different league, the G League, he's trying to tell you something. I can throw the ball up to him in practices before he meets the need that I have as a point guard. Vernon Carey.
Yeah.
I will agree. I will agree. Vernon Carey is the dude. But I feel like Nick Richards will also stay because they need defense off the bench, especially paint defense. They need paint defense, and Nick Richards is impactful. But Vernon Carey got to stay because they need rebounding in the starting lineup.
I would say Taco Fall.
They don't have a rebounder in the starting lineup.
Taco Fall?
I would take Taco Fall over the foolishness we got in Charlotte.
Wait, Taco?
Anything is better.
I'd be interested to see Taco Fall play with LaMelo. I think if you had a Vernon Carey and a Taco Fall kind of like in that rotation, I could, you know how he do. We see Borrego do the thing all the time where it's the defensive lineup at the end of the game and then the offensive lineup and start making those switches. I would love to have Taco Fall be able to rotate in there on that defensive lineup.
I mean, anything is better than what we got, man. Like Serge Ibaka to me would be the perfect fit. I don't think is that even possible? Because Serge can shoot threes and he's great defender.
Oh man, Bismack is not a free agent, right?
No, he is.
Oh damn. because I don't know, like at least somebody's gonna get the bag. Devonte, I don't think he's a free agent, or like I don't know who else in that team is a free agent that's a guard. Because
but Deontay is big money.
Yeah,
like because Devonte is gonna be paid the bag, especially Monk. Monk is gonna be a free agent, and you know that teams want Malik Monk. Like teams want Malik Monk to really anchor the bench. and you know they're gonna pay him the bag.
Yeah.
So the Hornets have a choice.
So this is what we were saying earlier. Devonte will be a free agent after the season. And the thing with him is, and why it was so important for Borrego to play him, is that he's still on his rookie contract. So like this next deal for him is a big one. So Borrego wasn't trying to just bench him and then have a kid who been putting in time, like not be able to get his money. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
Devonte average 8 and 8. So we have to keep that in mind.
Yeah. So it was huge for him to be able to play, but like, and that's also why you couldn't trade Devonte Graham at trade deadline anyway. It's because he ain't his salary is not, you know what I mean? It's too good for you right now. It's 1.3 million right here, so you couldn't trade him. Nobody's trading you for Cody Zeller. Obviously, Malik Monk is also a restricted free agent, so he, you know what I mean, you might could sign him or whatnot, but I think that a Devonte Graham and a Malik Monk are dudes who, if you do anything with them, it's signing trades. You know what I'm saying?
But will anybody take Malik Monk? Because every interview when JB talks about it, he talks about his past. As a GM, that would make me leery.
Yeah. Because if you at the beginning of the season, they were not playing Malik Monk at all because he had some off the court issues and some stuff that he was dealing with and all of that stuff. And so I think that this season has been, to me, good for Malik Monk because he also got a chance to, if you listen to his interviews, he got a chance to come across as like a real team player. Like he one of the first dudes to embrace LaMelo. He get on there all of the time and talk about his own personal growth and how much better he feels. And like he had to learn so much and he had to do this stuff. So I think that is going to help Malik Monk. And then especially he is starting to look like a Jordan Clarkson. He's starting to look like a Lou Williams, one of these guys who he ain't even got to play in the first 7 minutes, but you bring him off the bench and he instant offense. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he's gonna have some opportunities to kind of catch the bag and all of that jazz.
Yeah, that's true.
After the season, but either way, if they keep him or not, they're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to pay to play, which is gonna be hard to do.
The Lakers. Hey man, look, that luxury cap. You gonna just have to pay and take the hit because you want a championship team. You gonna have to pay. You gonna have to pay.
Yeah. I don't know if Jordan taking that luxury cap hit though.
You gonna have to do something. He won't be the GOAT like he claimed. Hey man, people got to get paid.
But the thing is, the Hornets are not the Pelicans because the Hornets have the cap space to get decent players. The Pelicans, if they overpay Lonzo, like give him his 20 mil, it'll put them over the salary cap, even 15 mil. So the thing is, I would say it's best to just risk it because he's valuable, and if he walks, it'll ruin the locker room, especially for Zion, who is a franchise player.
Yeah.
I know one thing. A very good idea would be to tell LeVar that you want all three boys and pay them $1 million, like he said, and you have all the cap space you want.
$1 million.
And well, LeVar said he paid for $1 million.
I'll say this: he said that before when they was all with the brand, because when they all with the brand. Now we can make our own money. You know what I'm saying? Now
I feel like
the way it is now with the Puma deal is a bit different because if you know what I mean, we all start hitting, that money don't come back to the business like that.
Oh, I was about to say, because I feel like he got it wrong. What he was trying to say is the way about Melo. I think he was talking about, because LeVar was talking about all the Ball brothers coming to Charlotte, and then he was like, oh, you're going to cut my mil and give 10 million to Jello and 10 million to Zoe. And then they come to the same team. And then, you know, they'll make the team such a showstopper or something like that. Like that part I get with LeVar. Like he was literally saying that.
Superstars don't need the NBA money. Superstars does not need. I'm gonna show you why. Michael Jordan never made what he was due from the NBA. His money came from endorsements, and that's what the Ball family is doing.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say that Mike, even if you watch that Bulls documentary or the Last Dance or whatever, none of them dudes was making the money that they should have been making, but it wasn't because they just was like volunteering to get. They was getting screwed. You know what I'm saying? Pippen was getting hit over the head. They was pissed off about that in the locker room. And Jordan and the Bulls ended up being like on the back end of Jordan's thing. They ended up trying to have to overpay him to even stay, but that even affected. You're right though. But
that's where big markets come from. See, because what happens is this: if we don't have the salary cap and we can't pay you, we can guarantee you endorsement deals under the table, which will pay you what you're worth, and that's what MJ did.
Yeah,
because Colangelo wasn't giving up no money.
Yeah, facts. Yep. No, and they didn't in the Bulls though. To be truthful, they mishandled that whole situation. They probably had another championship or two in the chamber, and they blew that up too fast. You know what I'm saying? But to before we roll up out of here, I want to get y'all takes on the current. So we talked about the Hornets and their kind of the landscape of the trades, but what do y'all think about what's happening up there in like Brooklyn? You know what I'm saying? Where we see
just stacking up the deck.
Like, yeah, where
we want to win now.
The Avengers, that's a simple.
Exactly. Like they're trying to
I don't have to go into the finals though.
I think they did what's necessary to compete with the Lakers because the Lakers did it last year, and what teams are doing now, they're stacking. That's why I'm saying if you're going to win a championship, you have to stack. If you go back 20 years and look at the Celtics, look at the Lakers, that's why they won so many championships. They had the best players.
Mm-hmm. But I'm be honest with you, I got Utah and Philly going to the finals. I don't have Brooklyn in the league.
I think Brooklyn making the conference finals at least. Because if they face the Hornets, it's going to be a sweep.
Look how we look against. That's how I judge a team based on how the Hornets played against them. And you look at how Philly dominated us every time. They too big. They way too big at every position. And there's nothing we could do about it. And you look at how Utah played against us. They shoot.
Think about it. Your biggest guard and your best defensive guard at the guard position is injured at the moment. So yeah, and we have to understand that. Because people will be like, well, Melo's not good on defense. Well, your perimeter defense was choking this game because you got 101 points on your head. And Melo actually at least tries to reduce that a little bit. So he's not a super good defender, but he's good. He's a decent defender, at least.
And let me say this too. Brooklyn, Kevin Durant is not healthy, dog. By no stretch of the imagination. I don't care what they say. That man is not Kevin Durant right now. Them boys is not going to no finals. Gonna do the same thing Houston did because they on James Harden back. They gonna go to the second round and lose. Watch what I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, and to give your game, you said Melo comes back, JB won't give him minutes. I feel like it's not JB because I was hearing Mitch Kupchak say it. He said that they don't want to risk Melo being hurt, so I feel like they won't give him like super high minutes, and they will have to let Melo decide. That'll be up to Melo to decide.
I didn't hear it that way. It sounded like Mitch Kupchak was saying, LaMelo the future. We gonna play. We can get him back. We sent him to get a second opinion. We want him to play. We willing to build a team around him, but at the same time, they're not gonna be stupid and re-injure him and take that L like they did to Kevin Durant because you know that's a lot of bad PR. But I say it's 100% JB that's gonna put him on the bench. 100%.
Hey, AB, thank you for having us on or having me on today, bro. But my last comment is this, man, is that it's not up to coach. It's not up to the team. LaMelo has one speed that's fast. So I think the thing JJ and AB would know him better than anybody. Someone needs to make him shut down because the coach wouldn't be able to do it. So whether he limits his minutes or not, he has one speed.
Yep.
Man, like Kobe won a championship with a broke thing.
Agree. It's the and because we was talking about Jordan, same thing, right? Somebody mentioned when Jordan had the ankle injury or something his rookie season, and they put him on like a 15-minute restriction, and they pulled him out or whatnot. And he like,
that's
the same thing with Melo. I think that two things that scare me about this, right? And one is obviously I don't want them to. I don't know, because right now they playing good basketball without Melo. So I feel like I could see a situation where he becomes healthy and then you want to insert him in, but you like, dang, the way that he plays is so different than what we've seen tonight, right? LaMelo is in the game. If it's a tight game like this, it's not a 97-point game at with going into overtime. You know what I'm saying? It's a 120-point game plus overtime minutes.
Right.
And so I could see them being like, bro, but we got a good thing going. Do we want to like bring you in, Melo, to mess that up? I can see JB being in his head and not playing him to throw off what they got going. Especially you look at Devonte Graham tonight, because you know that's his boy. And when he hot like that, it's like, bro, Devonte was hot. We can't pull him out.
Right.
So I can see that being the thing. I think that from a personal, maybe like to the discussion of LaMelo statistically rookie of the year, legacy, and all of that jazz, I think that situation hurts him. You bring him back with 4 games, and then you playing him 10 minutes a night on the minutes restriction, and giving you 4 minutes. He giving you 4 points. You know what I'm saying? 6 points, 2 assists, and a rebound. Now all of a sudden he ended the season and he with a stat line of like 12, 5, and 4 or something, like, you know what I mean? Like it could hurt him legacy wise. But I think that from what I picked up from the Mitch Kupchak thing was like you were saying, Big J, is he's like, yo, we know LaMelo is the dude. He's the future. That's appreciate that, Ling, man. Lil Gun Namel. 20. I can't rhyme problems I can read. Sometimes, bro, these names be killing me though. But I felt like he's saying, yo, we like him. He's the future. And I heard him say the next 10 to 13 years, right? He said, it ain't changed our plan for the next 10 to 13 years around LaMelo, but we just not going to be stupid enough to bring him back. Because I think that we seen time and time where these young dudes get hurt and they want to play. And these teams feel like we trying to win right now, from the Derrick Roses. Well, Derrick sat out a long time, but still, even initially him coming back and all of that, the Grant Hills, the Anthony Hardaways, these dudes who are like generational talents have one little small ailment, and instead of letting them chill, you be like, bro, nah, but it's just your ankle. It's just twisted a little bit. You can come back and play. The next thing you know, it's the calf, it's the Achilles, it's the whole thing. And you should have just said, you know what, bro? Look at Joel Embiid. They damn near had Joel Embiid not play for 2 seasons just to make sure he was straight and that he would have a decent career. And I feel like I hate to see them do that with LaMelo. Sit him that long, but I'd rather see him. Go ahead.
You don't feel like it's different? I mean, you got, when it's your ankles, that's one thing, because your weight is on that, it's jumping. This is his wrist. Yeah. This ain't the same. Like, you know, like Kobe won a championship with a broke finger. This ain't the same.
That's a fact.
So I don't think it's the same long haul. Like, man, we don't want to damage him, because you're right. You can pop Achilles or all this stuff when you distributing your weight wrong, but the basketball ain't heavy like Kevin Durant said.
Yeah, fact.
Nah, that's a fact. Nah, you're right. It's a difference. It's a difference. No, that's a fact. I think
we need my man back on the court, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you see,
I know you are.
You see with one hand and a broken wrist, he playing left-handed.
Hey, he should have played
and was going.
Man, he should have played the rest of the game with his left, man. That would have been so fire.
I was on full court balls with the one hand,
yeah.
So I see it, but I think it's it's going to be interesting to see how this thing play out. And I think that how this plays out is going to dictate a lot of things. It's going to dictate who comes back next year, right? Who in this time could like really either do one or two things: show the Hornets that like, yo, I'm a valuable piece and y'all need me here, or who gonna show the Hornets that I got some value and there's some trade bait, and then like it's gonna show JB or where he at, right, and where his X's and O's and that, and how can you hold this team together, you know what I'm saying, on your own? Because I think if he can push them into like keeping that 4th seed where they at right now, because it's so crazy. The Hornets are in the 4th seed, but the 4th seed is what?
Way different than the West.
It's 6 to 8 games behind the 3rd seed, I'm saying. And then it's you only 2 games behind like the 5th. You know what I mean? You a half a game behind the 5th. So like they're not going to the 3rd seed, but they could lose 2 games and drop all the way down to the 10th seed. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
Because everybody in that position, AB, is at 23 and 21 all the way down. And because they beat one of the other teams, they're 24 and 21. But the Hornets have the upper hand because they beat them. But it's a log jam. No one knows what's going to happen. It's going to be from game to game.
Yep.
But that's why them interviews are so important, bro, because the way James Borrego talk, now we suspicious of his motive, and we can't see it for what it is, because the way he been talking from the beginning of the season is like, you can't, like, is he really keeping it 100 or is he lying to get Tebe in there? Like, that's why them interviews so important, man. And the way you word, you even said it, the way you word stuff, your body language, I be peeping your video, all that stuff matters. And now you got people that they don't trust you. They don't trust what you gonna do. And that's the problem.
Yeah. But you also have to understand that the East is not that competitive. Right. And this is for many Hornets fans, because I was having this issue with Ant Jams when he was talking. He was like, the East, the Hornets have a higher, face more Western teams than last year. I'm like, well, it's obvious. They have a rookie that have a celebrity status that has a high level of clout. So obviously they want to make him play superstars. But you see, where the plan backfired is that LaMelo's now injured, and that key game, even to this game, was supposed to be a key game. If Melo was playing, it was supposed to be a key game, but it's not a key game. Like they have a lot of key games that they actually do before because of LaMelo Ball, and that itself explains. And the NBA knows that the Western Conference is where the competition's at. If you look at the record, look at like AB, you can pull up the standings for the East and West. Like let's show us, because the 4th seed, the 4th seed for the Charlotte Hornets. Like look at the Lakers. The Lakers have a better record. They have a better record than the Hornets, and they're a 4th seed.
Yeah.
The Hornets are a 4th seed with a worse record than the Lakers. It should explain to you. The West is where the competition's at. So obviously they want LaMelo to face tough competition. It's not about the Hornets. It's about LaMelo facing tough competition and getting.
Well, if you look at the 8th seed in the West, I don't think it's that big of a difference.
But if we look at this, if we look at the last road trip to the West, that was a margin to gauge, and that's what I was saying about Gordon Hayward. I wasn't saying that he's not primed or he's not prime time. I wasn't saying that he couldn't ball, he can't shoot. What I was saying was when it came to the West and when it came to competition and a competitive nature, LaMelo is the only one showed up. And all those games until he got injured, they were passing the ball to him. It was like they saw ghosts or something. I'm telling you. In the East, yes. In the West, they all fell out. They disappeared.
What you think, Gordon, thinking about it like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, I did.
The 5th seed have a better record.
Yes.
That's just to tell you, like, the West is where the competition's at. And obviously, like I said it, the West is where the competition's at.
Watch this. After that game, LeBron James came and literally bear hugged LaMelo. Then he found Scary Terry, bear hugged him. But then he went to Gordon Hayward and said, "Good game, man."
Yeah.
That's a mental thing, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I think that might be more along the lines of the Key and Peele, you know.
About the Hornets, I'm like,
Tuck it in.
Come on.
Sorry to cut you guys off.
Hey, bro, I don't know if y'all pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But Cody and Gordon spend a lot of time together. I see Cody Zeller passing the ball to Gordon almost every play. Y'all ever pay attention to that?
Yeah. And Gordon zoning Melo out.
Yeah.
Then go turn the ball over. Come on, man.
I ain't want to be the one to say it.
And for the one that was telling me about, it's all about the Hornets. I'm not saying it's not about the Hornets. I'm saying that the Hornets face more tougher competition because LaMelo is on the team. That's my point. Look at your last year. You faced more Eastern teams than Western. The Western Conference is where the real tough competition is at. So LaMelo and the Hornets will face more key games because they have a rookie with this high celebrity status.
Right,
and the NBA wants to profit off that. That's it.
Yep.
I'm not trying to hate on your team.
And you know what else too?
Your team is there.
The fact is that the last 3 games, the reason why I think the Hornets won is because LaMelo wasn't out there. I mean, you know, the eyes are there because of LaMelo, and the teams don't play as hard against them. Like you said, like people come to make their name. Like De'Aaron Fox got his name off Alonzo Ball. Like,
yeah. I mean, let's see. The last 3 games, they played the Miami Heat. Right, was the one that they just outside of today. Right, obviously they played the Suns today, but the win streak was the Miami Heat, who is the 8th seed over here in the East.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Then the game before that was the Houston Rockets, right? Who is down here, the almost the last seed, you know what I mean? And then the game before that they won, was that the who was it?
That was Sacramento.
Sacramento,
no,
yeah.
Yeah, it was Sacramento.
It was, yeah. So the 3-game win streak was the Kings, the Rockets, and the Miami Heat. You know what I'm saying? And then they played the Phoenix Suns tonight, and then caught an L. So like, it's was it? Yes, you're right. It was San Antonio. You're right. San Antonio and Houston. Yeah. San Antonio, Houston, and then you're right. And I'll say this too. I think the San Antonio game is also different because Borrego used to be there.
8-man rotation.
Yeah. So he probably had them hype of like, yo, this is my old team. Yo, could we please get a W? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need y'all for this one. And
I was so hot behind that 8-man rotation, bro. We've been asking for an 8-man rotation.
Yes.
We be having 12, 15 people playing. That man played an 8-man rotation for the first time. I wanted to punch him through the TV.
Exactly. And I think he did that because that's a game he was like, I want to win this game. It was a personal game for him. And he's like, so I'm playing all of the dogs tonight. And he did that. And you look at tonight's game, he opened that thing back up to about 10. He played Brad Wanamaker tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that show you where
any amateur league that you ever playing all them people does not help the team win. Like, how he don't understand that? Like,
and we're talking about those Western teams who are at the bottom of the barrel who playing like the East. So to me, in my opinion, even the games that they did win, there was no flow to the game. None. I couldn't stand that San Antonio game. There was nothing to the game. But those teams are at the bottom of the West. So then and the East. So then if you look when there's competition, no, they can't handle it. That's when you're missing LaMelo.
Mm-hmm. Like, man, he had me hot, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was tight behind that. All my partners was like, "Oh man, you're a conspiracy theory." I'm like, man, this man played 8 people, but he got Cody and Caleb playing the same amount of minutes. Man, like, Jalen McDaniels and all these other trash cans.
Okay, my bad. Okay. No agendas. I was about to say that. You see, the thing with Borrego is that it's a pattern. You ever notice that he goes back to what's broken after what works is successful and helps the team when they win. Like the Hornets fight hard, and they're a tough team. But the thing is, like, you need to use what's good and works for your team and continue to use it. That's all I ask for Borrego.
Every time somebody hit 3 shots in a row, he bench them.
Yeah.
Like he want them to come sit and meditate on what they just did. Oh, good job. Come sit down.
Well, you getting too hot. You getting too hot. Come over here and cool off.
Yeah, come sit down.
Yeah. And that's all a part of what AB said. And I'm starting to do the same thing now. Sometimes I'm overjudging, but I'm listening to what people say and I'm watching what they do. Watch this. In every James Borrego news conference, he says "I" a million times. And so what he's doing, he's justifying who and what he is to himself. I got to get more minutes for him. I got to do. He's overcompensating for something.
He's trying to make it seem like he's the reason.
Yes, that was one of the big things that I noticed early on too. Is that even with what he would do it with Lamelo, he'd be like, "Well, Lamelo got to make can't turn it over like that." And then he'll go to Gordon and be like, I gotta put Gordon in better positions to score.
Right.
I gotta make it easier for him. Yeah. I gotta get Devonte going early. And it would take ownership. Yeah. So that you're right.
Boy, he had me hot behind that, bro. That's why I don't trust him.
Yeah.
That's what comes with those interviews. Is now you got 9 million people that don't trust you. They don't trust what your motives are because you're so busy trying to make it about you. You're not Popovich. Stop trying to act like you're Popovich.
Yeah.
No. And I've said it, and I'll say it again. I feel like Borrego, apart from going to what's broken, he's delusional. He's somehow delusional to the point that he thinks he's coaching the Spurs.
Yeah. No, he thinks he's playing the game too. And then he actually thinks he's playing the game.
Lamelo is Manu Ginobili mixed with Tim Duncan, where he can turn it.
When he made that Ginobili comparison, I wanted to slap him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck are you talking about?
Lamelo is Magic Johnson. He ain't no Ginobili.
No, look at the injury. You see, when Devonte gets injured, he mentions Devonte's name, but Lamelo's now the injury.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, what?
AB said it in the video. Yeah.
Yep.
And he says this stuff, man, with so much conviction. I got to get Deontay more shots. I got to get Gordon more shots. But dude, you're not playing the game.
Right.
I understand the X's and O's and drawing up plays, but his conviction in saying it as though he's a part of the narrative of what's going on the floor, and he has to open the floor for these guys to get more shots. That's what's confusing.
And all that comes from when he pulled LaMelo and Miles out that game, talking about their turnovers was high. That was the start of this foolishness. Gordon Hayward the next game had 5 turnovers. You didn't hear a word about it.
Right.
Yep.
Worried about minutes.
That's what I be on too, because I feel like you got to realize you setting a precedent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every time you call out to a young rookie for making mistakes and you start pulling people out the game, you got to keep that same energy with everybody.
Right.
And when he don't do that, that's what be ticking me off a little bit, right? So I think that I'll talk about him in the videos, and I'll be going through my comments, and people be like, "Bro, AB, you seem like we want Borrego to just get down and do whatever for LaMelo and beg for him," and it's not about that. To me, it's about like just the bit of respect, right? So I think that early on in the season, when I watch and listen to Borrego talk about Devonte Graham, who was having these shooting struggles and making up all of these excuses, I feel like you're doing that because you respect Devonte Graham enough that you want to keep his dignity intact. You want his confidence to be squared away. And so you're going to take on a lot of the onus for a lot of the stuff that's going on with him. And I think that I want to see you have that same energy for your young rookie. You know what I mean? As you put him in these tough situations and he getting his in-game experience for the first time, like give him the opportunity to grow and keep it going the same way.
It was all a
But
head
AB,
game, AB. It was all a head game. And I'll tell you why it was a head game. Anytime you take your point guard and you send him in front of the team, you're sending a message. I have faith in Devonte Graham. He sent him on the sideline in front of the team. Man, what have you ever seen that done? So he was sending a message not to the team. He was sending a message to LaMelo. You're the rookie. But this guy right here is my mainstay. My mainstay. So guess what? He came up in the program. He came up in our league. We drafted him. Second round, but he's still a dude. That's crazy. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that either. And even if you look at in the last couple of years, we've seen these rookies, and we got T Blizzard joining in here. Then we finna roll out, hear what he got to say. But in the last couple of years, we've seen all of these rookies who have become all-stars be handled so differently. Where you look at the Luka Doncic, and he came in, you gave him the keys. Year 2, he an all-star. The John Morant, the Zion Williamsons, the all of these, the Trae Young, yeah. They come in, we let you make mistakes, we let you play on court, and then next year they make the jump into being all-stars. And I feel like,
don't they beg LeBron? Don't they beg Zion? What's wrong with begging LaMelo? This is not a normal rookie. What's the problem with that?
Yeah.
Like, you treat all these other people, you put them on a pedestal, just like De'Aaron Fox. He's not the best player on that team, but they put him on a pedestal. Buddy Hield and Harrison Barnes is better than De'Aaron Fox, but De'Aaron Fox is the future. LaMelo he's about to change the league. Zion's going to change the league. LeBron changed the league. What's wrong with treating them like that?
Facts. Yep. That's a fact, man. That's where I'm at with it. Is I want to see you just treat him how you treat everybody else. When I was hype about LaMelo getting into the league, because I felt like I thought I knew what he was going to bring to the game, and then he brought that to the game, and then everybody's like reaction to that wasn't what it should have been. Then that's when all of a sudden I feel like folks got to start speaking out and all of that, because I seen what happened when Trae Young was having a solid rookie season. Oh, and you play something.
Right.
Trae Young was having a solid rookie season when Luka's having a solid rookie season. I seen the attention that John Morant was getting. So I wanted to see that same stuff from my dog LaMelo. But I'm gonna say, man, we're gonna get ready to.
I got one more thing to say, AB, before you leave.
I'm gonna let you have the floor, and then we're gonna close it out.
I just want to acknowledge that the NBA lied about those fan votes, and secondly, I need to get them cotton candy MV1s from you. Holla at your boy.
Straight up. I see you got the BBB hat on right there in the
You see me, huh? Yeah. I see you got the JBA coat on too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exclusive. You know
what I'm saying? with the raisins and the potato salad. Hey, bro, we ain't miss a game, bro. We follow everything you do. And my mama love you. Love you. After every game, she like, put on AB the hero. Let's see what he says. So appreciate them videos, G.
Man, I appreciate that, man. We're gonna keep it coming, man. We get to see if T Blizzard, man. T Blizzard, what's up, man? We shutting it off after you, man. So you got to bring it home. Hello.
What's up?
What's happening, man? What you got
on? What's up, man? 504 in the building, you heard?
Okay,
BBB for life.
There it is.
What's up?
Not much, man. We sitting here talking about today's game, man. That Hornets Suns game. Did you catch that game?
It's the Rock of Gibraltar, man. It's the Rock of Gibraltar.
Straight up. No, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Nah, man. So we just had our like a whole little, and my man Uncle Rico in here. What's happening, Captain? But yeah, we just kind of talked about the Hornets, where they at right now. We had some Lonzo conversation as well, man. You say you from the 504, man. How y'all feeling? You happy that they kept Lonzo, or was you expecting him to get up out of there?
You happy
Oh, there he is. All right. My man gone. All right, folks. This your main man, AB the Hero, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in and rocking with me, man. I appreciate all of the super chats and all of that jazz as well, man. That's always appreciated. And just being able to come in and hit that like button, man. So on your way out, man, go ahead and hit the like button and get them likes up, man. It's appreciated. And we gonna slide. All right, man. What a game today, though, man. My man Devonte Graham almost closed that bad boy out on a certain type of way, man. So I'm pumped though. Finna get up out of here, bro. I'm telling y'all, I got something special for y'all coming up soon. So stick with me. We can get out here, gamer game, Mr. Sugar Dove, man. Appreciate y'all, Chris, everybody, Uncle Rico, everybody who joined the panel today, man. It was much love. We out. Peace.